Hello and welcome. This is Rooflemonger, and my friends, we got some very interesting news today on the Harada front. So what's going on exactly, you might ask? And to that, I would say,
Shut up! Shut up! Shut up and sit the head down!
So Katsuhiro Harada, the face of Tekken for a very, very long time, one of the biggest bigwigs at Bandai Namco, left the company not too long ago in the grand scheme of things. And a lot of people, myself included, thought he'd probably enjoy just, chilling for a while before he came back. And he's back earlier than expected, and at the head, the CEO of a new studio. That being Versus Studio. And here's the thing about that, chalk this up to I just didn't expect the possibility, but this studio is founded with SNK money. We all know in recent times, SNK's got a couple extra bucks to their name, but with their investment, Versus Studio is now a thing, and it is an independent studio. Although, how independent is it really? Because it has SNK in the name of the studio. It's Versus Studio SNK Corporation, so independent to a point, I would say. But yeah, long story short, one of the most famous figures in all of fighting game history is back, and he has an all new studio that he is in direct control of as CEO. So as for a mission statement here, Versus can mean a lot of things, like visionary standard or vanguard spirit, and to be perfectly real, I'm pretty sure it says Versus because he wants to make some fighting games. Doubly so because, SNK helped found the company with their money, right? So I think it says Versus because it's Versus. But you can't just openly say that in the business world, right? So you got to add some flowery adjectives to it. But regardless, rest assured, this is absolutely exciting news, right? Expect big things out of this, because again, this is the face of Tekken. Like, Harada is one of the most prominent figures in all of fighting game history. There's certainly going to be expectations here, and Harada at the helm with some SNK money to back him up, I think it's very doable. So of course, there's a bunch of other things to talk about besides just the announcement. The announcement is great, but it's pretty real. They already got their office set up. They're already good to go on that front. Yasuyuki Oda, who is the vice president of SNK, basically gave his public blessings. They are already going out of their way to set up expectations in an emergency interview, which I just really like the title, emergency interview, I guess. But yeah, so I'll give you some the big hits here, and I'll link the article in the video description if you want to check that out. So for one, other Tekken alumni like Yoichi Yonemori will be joining the team as well. So expect more than a few ex-Tekken people on the team. Also in the interview, reaffirming it is completely an independent studio. It is not part of SNK. Yes, funded with SNK money, but it is not part of SNK. However, it's under the umbrella of SNK. And it also happens to be in the same building as SNK. But they're saying it's an independent but cooperative relationship. So I don't know, maybe like second party developer, like Game Freak is the Nintendo or Naughty Dog is the PlayStation. So technically not SNK, but also technically SNK. Now, as for what games they're going to be making, well, I already mentioned the Versus part, right? So yeah, they're very clear they want to make a fighting game. Specifically citing that, being under the umbrella of SNK, SNK has some well-known IPs, and there are some IPs I personally like. So there's lots of possibilities. So we know already that SNK, like a lot of old titles, are coming back, right? Art of Fighting's coming back, Samurai Showdown's coming back, right? But it doesn't always got to be like they want to work on a fighting game, but depending on how much money they have, they can work on more than one game at once. Maybe Harada-led Metal Slug? Stranger things have happened, I suppose. And in a big chunk of the interview, and again, I'll link it for you in the video description, he does talk about Tomonobu Itagaki, the creator of Dead or Alive, who unfortunately passed away not too long ago. And he mentions he's over 50 now. He wants to make the most of his life. Him and Itagaki were great friends. They went to college together, and Itagaki passing away at a younger age, kind of put things in perspective. It wasn't the final push, but it had an influence on his decision to help work on this studio. Also in the interview, sort of joking, but he's like, yeah, I didn't take this job just so I'd be CEO. There's other reasons. And again, lots of good stuff. Check out the interview for yourself in the video description. But yeah, so we have all this, and obviously the community reaction's been pretty big. Lots of positivity and lots of, frankly, surprise, because, like, I woke up late today. I didn't expect to wake up to, like, this announcement of all things. I knew he was gonna come back to gaming at some point, right? Like, that was inevitable, but in this specific way, hey, maybe it was foreshadowed. Weird B-roll I picked for this, huh? Maybe it was always destined to go this way, I suppose. But certainly interesting for the fighting game landscape as a whole, to be sure, because this is another new major player in the game. Again, to how truly independent this new studio is, we'll see. Independent to a point, in that they don't have to directly follow like SNK missives, but they probably get some marching orders from them. As long as Harada fulfills the Raiden prophecy, that I've wanted this character back for so long, like, I'm down for anything, basically. So they got their own office. They're already hiring at least some roles. We have other ex-Tekken people there. I would expect a lot of, if we have ex-Tekken, like, it's probably safer to bet than not it'll be a 3D fighting game as one of their first projects, right? Because at minimum, that's where a lot of the experience lies. Like, I wouldn't be surprised for a second if the Dead or Alive 5 and 6 producer Yohei Shimbori somehow finds himself on this team. Because he quietly left that team to go work on Tekken 8. Then Tekken 8 had a much more Dead or Alive style flair in its presentation, especially on stages. And then late last year, he quietly left Bandai Namco as well. So he's a free agent. So just saying. But imagine another 3D fighting game with SNK licensed IP characters. A new King of Fighters Maximum Impact, perhaps? Or frankly, it could be just about anything, right? One of the scariest things in fighting games this day and age is making an all-new fighting game. Fighting games, perhaps more than any other major genre of game, like, rely on legacy. Like, an all-new game with new unproven characters? That's a bit of a risk. Now, that said, new studio is the perfect time to take a risk. But I feel like, I don't know, we'll see a familiar face or two in whatever they're making, even if it is in the guest character front. If there's going to be something truly all new, Harada is the right guy to pull it off. He's in a new stage of his life. He's got a lot of new ideas. Give him the ball. Let's see what happens. People will support him. He's one of the most universally beloved people in all of fighting games. And frankly, just kind of in gaming in general. And he's kind of the heart and soul in Tekken. That's why it hurt so bad when he left Tekken and left Bandai Namco. But, fresh start. Let's see what he can do. But that's the news for now. And I know you got something to say about this. So please post in the comments below. Are you excited? What do you think he might be working on? What's going on with the new studio? Post it all in the comments below. But otherwise, my friends, that's it for the video. So thank you very much for watching. Hope this video has found you well. And go out and play some fighting games.